Good day, viewers. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the news today. Please feel free to share what you think and feel. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
To the viewers at home, I must say that there's mixed feelings, but we're very confident that we cannot be ruled by foreign nationals, especially illegal migrants in this country. We've been following the case for the past 2 days. And I must say that I became more confident when the two representatives, one from SAPS and one from the Home Affairs, when they've stated very clear that there's no bond that we have with them, but rather in every time when we go do operations, because we are an organization that wants to do things within the confines of the law. So every time when we do our operations, we go and apply for the likes of Section 205 and make sure that we do have police visibility within our operations. I think that's what the applicant doesn't understand, is that we do apply because we respect the laws of this country. So we do go and apply. That's why they'll see police visibility in our operations. But I must say that we cannot be silenced. I said this, and I know it became another threat today when we started at court, that I had tweeted that we will not be silenced. I mean, the voices of citizens cannot be silenced because of people feeling that we are harassing them. I mean, these people came here to this country unlawfully so, and we cannot allow people to be lawless in this country. We've been advocating for non-lawlessness in this country, and we're not going to stop. So I'm not afraid, and I know that we will continue being the mouthpiece of South Africans, and we will just wait for the judgment, because the judgment was reserved. And until then, and I'm hoping that the judge will think twice and, be patriotic when they have to make this decision, because there is nothing wrong that we have done. All we are saying is that we want people to come into this country lawfully, and they must abide by the laws of this country. That's all that we are saying.
Yeah, I think we're obviously going to analyze what an operation of Operation Dudula actually looks like, and even that Section 205 that you've talked about. But with this, with the sitting in the Johannesburg High Court, you've got Kopanong, Africa Against Xenophobia, Abahlali baseMjondolo, Inner City Federation, SA Informal Traders Forum, all under the umbrella of SERI, coming forward to argue the case against Operation Dudula, the argument being that you are harassing foreign nationals. But in the matter, in the High Court, Operation Dudula in and of itself, not partaking. So can you talk to me about why you're seeing that? I believe that your Treasurer General, Solomon Kekana, has said that that you, as Operation Dudula, knew nothing about the case.
We are a legal entity, and we have communication desk. We have email addresses of an organization. You can't be relying on someone's personal email address when wanting to serve them. Yes, we had received the first one, but we knew nothing about the sitting. I mean, when we first saw this, we saw it on social media platform when someone was asking that, I see that you guys are appearing in court on Tuesday. And that's when we started digging deeper, that what's happening, what's the whole case about and all that, and only to find out that it's this one of the series. But these things, we do understand this in this instances. Sometimes there will be some sort of sabotage and all that, but I don't wanna put it like that for now, because I don't understand why is it that they couldn't try to get hold of us. I mean, they've got our contacts. If they saw that we're not responding, they should have contacted us. They should have used an organization email rather of a personal email of somebody within the organization. But that's a story for another day. We were not represented in court, and that's the unfortunate part of it.
But I mean, surely this is a concern.
It's the same reason why Solomon, because Solomon is also one of the founding members, went to court to go and plead with the judge to say that we knew nothing about this. I mean, even on social media platforms, nothing was said about this case. Only in the past, I think, 2 days, just before the sitting, then that's only when it started gaining traction that we are appearing in court. And I will not blame ourselves as Operation Dudula, but I would blame your likes of series, the applicants especially. But there's no time for blaming game now. We must just wait for the judgment and see how best do we remedy the situation after the judgment, because I don't know how is the judge going to judge us as Operation Dudula, because we were not represented, but the case rather is all about us as Operation Dudula. So we needed to be given that opportunity to respond, whether yes, we were late or whatsoever, but we needed to be given that opportunity.
Okay, let's look at some of the arguments that are being put on the table, though, by sites of violence and hatred. What do you say to that?
So, for the past 5 years, we have been labeled as a vigilante group, especially by the president of this country. And it doesn't shake us that there's another group of people that are saying that we're doing things outside the confines of the law, because they are at the wrong side of the law. I mean, what we're fighting for here is genuine. We are saying that people must come to this country, they must be documented. If you're coming here to this country to do business, you must have your documents, you must have your business visa, and you must invest a minimum of 5 million. And it must be a scarce skill. It doesn't just end with you just having a passport. I mean, one of the applicants is, I think, inner city informal traders. That's supposed to be that space is supposed to be reserved for South Africans. And we unapologetically still going to continue, because the space is supposed to be for locals.
Yeah.
I mean, informal traders is supposed to be for locals. And we always have law enforcers with us. And at times when you get to places, we do ask them whether you documented or not. If they're saying they do have documents, we do hand them over to the law enforcers to say that you need to verify them, because yes, we know that we are not allowed to be checking people's documents and all that.
But you are
yes.
so you are approaching
paint here that is that we go together with the law enforcers, because they are part of that specific operation, because we had applied lawfully so. And when we approach them, yes, we will ask you whether you documented or not. And if they want to produce documents, it's now the right of the official to check those documents, and not us as Operation Dudula members. And that's basically what we have been doing. Yes, we do ask them. I will not shy away from that, because when we approach foreigners, they need to tell us whether they documented or not. And if they are documented, then they need to give the officials their documents.
But the view is that very act is unlawful, Zandile. That's the argument.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
You can't walk into a room full of foreign nationals and just keep quiet. It's up to us as patriots to play our part. I mean, there's also citizens arrest. I know that it's unlawful for us to be asking for documents, but we have no option, because we don't have enforcers that are doing that. That's why we are forcing them to do it. We are with them, then they should do it at that time. That's why we are with them, because we can't do it at that specific time. We don't have the right to do it. But because you as a law enforcer, you are there to just monitor the situation, why don't you just do it? Because that's also part of your job.
But you are admitting that it is unlawful.
Yes, it is unlawful, because we are not officials. We are not immigration officers, but as citizens, concerned citizens of this country, we can apply citizens arrest. And if there is a belief that there is a criminal activity happening in that place, of which in this instance, if you are a migrant, undocumented migrant, then you are a criminal. Then we can hand you over to the police officials. We can hand you over.
You said...
I must say this. Maybe these people have not seen what xenophobia is. I mean, there was xenophobic attacks in the past years here in South Africa, but ever since there was Operation Dudula, nothing of that sort has happened. We always try to make sure that there are no attacks. That's why even when we do our own operations, we tell people not to loot. If, for instance, if we're doing the spaza shop operations, not to loot, but rather make them pack their stuff and leave. We don't go out and beat people up because obviously the law enforcers are there. And there's no xenophobic attacks here. I mean, only now when, if they are being granted this order, maybe there will be these attacks. But currently, for the past 5 years, since the inception of Operation Dudula, there haven't been attacks. We are being blamed that the guy from Deep Sloot had died just after our visit at Deep Sloot. How do you blame us for that? How many places have we visited and nobody was burned to death? Yeah. Why are we now being pinned just to this specific guy in Deep Sloot? So we can tell that there's some biasness, and these people are obviously foreign nationals. They don't want Operation Dudula because it's fighting the illegality that they are doing as non-South Africans. They will definitely fight, and they will come with every corners to make sure that we are being pinned down and that Operation Dudula doors are closed. Okay, and we will not allow that.
I asked you about...
Now, who pays for these services? Because foreigners do not pay for these services. They use our own health facilities. They don't pay for it. Their kids go to schools, our schools, when our own kids, South African kids, cannot access those schools. They don't pay for it. I mean, who should suffer? Our system is suffocating because of them. I mean, there's nothing to do with, this has got nothing to do with hatred. We've always said this, that we don't hate them, but we just hate how they conduct themselves here in this country. I mean, we've always had, we have crime in South Africa, but the crimes that we are experiencing now shows that this is some sort of crime that we haven't had here in this country. I'll tell you about the human trafficking, the drug peddling that's happening here in this country, how our kids are dying of snacks. We had Abo Mama Badala that used to sell snacks to our kids. We grew up eating those snacks. We didn't die. Why are we dying now when there's illegal migrants, the influx of foreign nationals in our country? Okay. And we will not stop. That's what I'm trying to put a...
Those are...
Lady, I wish we could just get enough time. You know, these 5-10 minutes doesn't give us enough time to express ourselves when it comes to these issues, because the death of kids, no one is talking about it. No one has went to court and spoke about how our children are dying. But rather than that, the future of Operation Dudula is that Operation Dudula will not close its doors. Operation Dudula will not stop it being the mouthpiece of citizens of this country who are disgruntled, who are being pushed to a corner, right at the edge of their corner in their own country. When our own people are unemployed, they can't have proper health facilities because it's evident. We've been seeing how foreigners are taking these medications. They visit more than 5 hospitals and they take these medications and go and sell them to in their own countries. Okay. Why are we turning a blind eye and make it seem as if Operation Dudula is just hating foreigners when we see these things on social media platforms, even on the news, the media mainstream? We see them on the daily basis. When we get stats, how many Zimbabweans have been killing people? How many foreign nationals have been stealing cars and all that? So we can't just turn a blind eye and make Operation Dudula look like an organization that just hates people. We don't hate them, but we want them to go back home, and we just hate how they conduct themselves in our country. And unfortunately, we will not stop until they are deported back home.
Yeah, of course, Zandile Dabula, there's the